Dear ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, first of all, thank you for the invitation to the 9th Conference on Cultural Tourism organized by the European Cultural Tourism Network, and I regret not being able to participate in person. However, I am happy that modern technologies allow me to make this intervention today. My role in the European Parliament is very clear. I am a powerful advocate for tourist development, including the promotion of cultural tourism in Europe. As a member of the Committee on Transport and Tourism, I have worked very hard to emphasize the importance of tourism in Europe. Consequently, in this legislature, for the very first time in the history of the European Parliament, we have created the Intergroup for Tourist Development and Cultural Heritage, which brings together around 140 MEPs from all the political groups. Through this group, we have managed to develop several actions and projects that looked at tourism in connection with culture, regional development, connectivity, transport, and also skills and professional development. Another way in which some of us try to highlight the benefits of the industry is by writing pilot projects. Together with organizations and experts, we try to come up with projects that aim at solving very specific issues related to tourism. These initiatives are indeed small, but they serve a bigger purpose. What we hope for is that after these projects will have succeeded locally, they can be upscaled and applied to a whole region and maybe to the EU as a whole. For example, last year we obtained funding for the project Destination Europe. That was closely linked to the idea of promotion and branding, which is one of the priorities of the Manifesto for Jobs and Growth. Promoting Europe means talking about its rich and its beautiful culture. This year, we continue our work with a different focus, attracting tourists from third countries into less known but equally interesting and culturally rich European destinations. There are many such examples of such regions, some more developed than others. I can think of beautiful Danube Delta in my home country, Romania, a spectacular ecosystem at the intersection between many cultures, with a phenomenal fauna and flora. Of course, that my efforts in the European Parliament are helping. However, I believe that the European Commission has a big role to play here too, in order to respond to the identified needs and create an integrated and coordinated strategy for tourism at the European level. More specifically, a comprehensive action plan is required, an action plan that will take into consideration the promotion of cultural tourism and the preservation of cultural heritage. Given the current challenging context of economic stagnation and social inequalities, finding new ways to address these issues that touch upon our sense of identity is very important, because European identity finds its strongest expression in European culture. Cultural heritage is not only a link between our past and our future, but a bridge between our different identities. It provides a sense of unity and belonging. It enhances social cohesion and inclusion. That is why culture has such a vital role to play in tackling the challenges before us today. By placing cultural heritage at the heart of tourist policy, we will harness its power to create a stronger and more inclusive European Union, a union that will retain its dominant position among the most attractive and top tourist destinations in the world in the coming years. Let's not forget that tourism is a key driver of the European economy, generating more than 10% of the European GDP and employing more than 25 million people. That is exactly why I have strongly militated for a European Year of Tourism and Cultural Heritage in 2018. The Commission has listened to us, and we will now have a European Year of Cultural Heritage. What does this mean in practice? It means that while the European Commission decision makes no specific reference to tourism, the scope of cultural heritage opens a great deal of opportunities for us to reach our objectives as regards the industry. We cannot talk about European sites without addressing tourism and the vast network of people and services that make this location known and accessible. It's our job now to identify and promote the synergies between tourism and cultural heritage. In the message I pass it to the European Commission, I stress it that the Year for Cultural Heritage needs to integrate activities related to tourism and further acknowledge the strong link between culture, tourism and European identity. Thus, I announce with great pleasure that after my private meeting with Commissioner Tibor Navracsics, he showed his support for my idea of developing common joint action so that more activities promoting European tourism can be seen throughout the European thematic year of cultural heritage. This is a very positive sign and good news for the industry. As for the next steps, they stem from my belief that we need more cooperation between members of the Parliament, but also between the Parliament and the Commission. Following the presentation of the Manifesto for Jobs and Growth, I am now in talks with several other colleagues to create an S&D working group that would look into how we can integrate tourism into regional development and attract better funding. We hope that if the three commissions, TRAN, REGI and Growth and Enterprise, can work together on this issue, we can give a new impetus to our tourism initiatives. This also means we can build our strategy by looking at horizontal issues: culture, connectivity, skills, regulatory framework, and promotion. Furthermore, I want to stress once again the importance of attracting and keeping talent in the field. But to have good employees, we need to invest in them and to show them the larger picture. This is why I am a strong supporter of a tourism academy. The creation of such an educational platform would enable a throughout professional qualification of those interested in working in the industry, while ensuring that European tourism remains competitive and delivers high-quality services. So, my message today was based on the fact that we cannot ignore the synergy between tourism and cultural heritage. The reality shows that tourism matters and that it needs a European approach in order to have effective policies. Cultural heritage is an economic resource which can be an engine for economic and social development. The role of cultural tourism in fostering social cohesion is potential to boost innovation, economic growth and job creation should not be underestimated. With our common efforts, we can advance cooperation on heritage even further and make sure that millions of people every year visit heritage sites across the continents. Thank you all, and I wish you a fruitful discussion.